Hey guys, today I have a little more of an impromptu video. I had someone ask me what are my favorite seasons of Power Rangers. I didn't know if anybody would ever actually want me to do a video like this, but a few people now have said they would like to hear it. So here are my top 5 Power Ranger seasons. In the number 5 slot, I think some people might be a little surprised by this, it is Dino Charge. The Neo Saban era, of course, a lot of people tend to not be very fond of, but I think Dino Charge really does have a charm to it that is very special. And I've watched that season a lot with my son because he's young, and Dino Charge is really good for young kids. It just has this great element of comedy into it, with Ivan talking like this old knight of the olden day and Koda talking like a caveman. They have so many good comedic moments with those two characters, and I just love all the different Power Rangers they have on there. I know some people act like, it's too many Rangers or it's like that's the selling point of or something. I don't know. There's people who tend to be upset by having too many Rangers, but I love it. I think it's great, and I think out of all the seasons, it's one that really does stand out quite a bit. In the number 4 spot, I have Jungle Fury. Jungle Fury is by far one of my favorite seasons. I did a whole breakdown on that, so I'll link that if you're interested. It has some of the best character development of any season. It really does. It's really outstanding, and they use things very efficiently in that season, like what you would say is the typical command center, and the juice bar from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is sort of like the pizza restaurant and their like headquarters, which is actually the same place. They are able to switch from the sort of civilian storylines to the Ranger training storylines very easily, and it just works really well. And also it has some of my favorite characters of all time. Has RJ in there. RJ to me is one of the greatest Rangers that's ever been on Power Rangers. His life story is really interesting because he came from being trained as a young kid by his father. He knew that style wasn't him, and he broke away from it. He overcame that. And not only that, but the other Rangers really never get the best of him. He's a really incredibly good fighter. And the master that trained him, Master Swoop, actually credits RJ with teaching him a few things, which means RJ is well beyond a lot of these people in their abilities. He's really, really incredible. It also has Dominic, and I love Dominic because he never became a master. He didn't care. He wanted to help people, and he used his abilities to help people. But to him, he didn't find joy or happiness in becoming a master. He already knew he was a good fighter. And I don't know, there's something about those characters I really, really love. And it's just a really fun season. And I don't think it gets nearly enough credit that it deserves. In the number 3 spot, I have Power Rangers Time Force. Time Force has one of the greatest love stories of Power Rangers ever. It has so many storylines about overcoming, making your own destiny, and not being held back by other people telling you what to do. It's just an outstanding season. Erin Cahill is a great actress, and she's gone on to do a lot of like Hallmark movies and stuff. You can see her in the Christmas season when that comes around. I'm going to do a video about that, by the way. You should check that out when it comes out. But the chemistry on that season is really outstanding. The people on that season really do like each other, and they talk about it all the time on panels. They talk about how they're really a family. Honestly, there's some seasons where it's pretty obvious that the cast wasn't really that close, or they really didn't get along very well, and they're still fun seasons in themselves. I mean, they're actors. They're there to act, not, hang out specifically. But you can really tell there is like an electricity with that cast. They're really incredible, and one of the best seasons of all time. Now, again, this is my personal top 5. In the number 2 slot, I would have to give it to Power Rangers In Space. Admittedly, this might have a lot to do with nostalgia. In Space hit me at an age that I was all in. I was really, really hooked on Power Rangers at Power Rangers In Space. It was amazing. The storyline of Andros trying to find his sister Corone, and that being Astronema. And Astronema is one of my favorite characters. Melody Perkins, had such a great story arc, and then continued it into Lost Galaxy. Really, honestly, one of the best villains we've ever had in the whole entire franchise. Really outstanding. And I don't know, there's something about those suits. They all looked exactly the same, but there was something so cool about that, because up until this point, all the suits looked very different, which was cool. The helmets all look very different, I should say. but something with them all looking the exact same with only the colors being different really made them seem like this sort of military or like a real unit, like a Star Trek group or something. But I also love that their Zords were like one piece, most of them, besides the last ones. They were a unit, and it was really cool to see that. They also, of course, had the Psycho Rangers, which is one of the greatest story arcs in Power Ranger history. One of the most terrifying villains. I had the VHS, again, very nostalgic for me. I had this VHS where they took those episodes and blended them all into one ongoing story, so it was kind of like watching a movie. And I watched that VHS I watched so many times. It's just such a great season. So In Space for me is just, it hits me with nostalgia, and I also think it's a fantastic season. And I have a breakdown video on that one as well, because it saved the franchise. Now, coming into number one, I'm sure there's a lot of people going, but you didn't say this season. You didn't say this season. But there are seasons for me that nostalgia-wise I love. But I have to tip my hat to what I think is the best written season, the most fun written season, and that's RPM. I mean, undeniably, RPM is unbelievable. It's the first season of Power Rangers where they actually started to show backstories on the Rangers, on all the Rangers. I mean, the fact that they did that, and then they went into Dr. K's whole storyline and Jem and Gemma. That's a season that honestly makes me tear up.
I warn you, when you meet Dr. K, she's a little icy and cold. Don't take it personally.
Gemma.
Hello, Dr. K.
We've missed you.
I guess she's maybe trying kind of a different management style.
I tear up a little bit. It's like a very emotional thing, and that whole season just is really, really incredible. High stakes, whole world's been destroyed. It's an outstanding season, man. I can't pretend like there's better seasons than that one. It is very hard to put the top 5. So I kind of made 3 tiers. I made the absolute best of the best, which I thought, were my top 5. Then I made a tier of like, these are really, really great seasons. They don't quite hit my top 5, but there's something about them I really, really love. Be Lost Galaxy, Lightspeed Rescue, Wild Force, Ninja Storm, SPD, and then Dino Fury / Cosmic Fury. I think all those seasons are really, 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 really good. They don't hit my top 5 quite there, but there's just so many storylines. I mean, Lightspeed Rescue has great characters. And Lost Galaxy, oh man, Lost Galaxy is so incredible. There's just so many things about those seasons that are great, and I think you definitely need to watch those if you haven't. So then my bottom tier. I mean, I still enjoy watching them. And mind you, I have watched every season of Power Rangers at least 3 times. Some more than that. I've watched all these seasons multiple times, so I don't hate them or dislike them. But to me, they definitely aren't the top of the food chain. And so, yes, a lot of people are going to be mad because, yeah, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is on there.
Hang in there.
I mean, it's nostalgic for people, and it definitely established the brand very well. To me, it's not the best writing.
Oh, man.
There's a lot of plot holes, a lot of things that are just kind of thrown together.
Not cool.
It's still a fun season, or seasons, of course.
I know this is a lot, but you're gonna be okay.
The Alien Rangers, I'm not really going to put that in my top 5. It was only 10 episodes, but I still love it. Honestly, Zeo is a season that I just absolutely love. Nostalgia for me, it would be like up in my top 5, but I don't think it's necessarily the best written. Turbo is actually a season a lot of people hate on, and I did breakdown videos where I took Turbo into 2 sections, and I called it season 1 and season 2, even though it's one season. But the old cast, or the original cast of Tommy and those people, different breakdown on just the season. Started with TJ in that cast, and honestly, the second half is outstanding. TJ, I think that the TJ group is awesome. You'll have to watch those breakdowns if you want to hear more details, because I really get into it. There are things people say that are wrong with Turbo that they actually got wrong. There was plot holes when those plot holes actually didn't happen. So Dino Thunder is one where there's a lot of people who love Dino Thunder. That's actually the season that I watched like 1 episode and I stopped watching Power Rangers. And then years later, I got into it and I went back and rewatched all the ones I missed. I think it's got one of the best comic relief characters ever. Devin is such a great character. He has like these very human moments. It's awesome. I still, for some reason, it's just not my personal favorite, but that's not to say that it's a bad season. Operation Overdrive is one that a lot of people crap on. I'm not going to say it's the best, but I really think it doesn't deserve the hate. I think it's a pretty fun season, honestly. Samurai, I did did a whole breakdown on Samurai. I found things to love about Samurai, but it's not a perfect season by any means. But it did do a lot for the franchise in the whole marketing standpoint. Honestly, I don't want to say anything negative about Megaforce because I'm going to do a breakdown on that eventually. That's actually the only season I've only watched once. I need to go back and rewatch it to give it a real assessment because I don't remember a lot of it, and a lot of people just kind of crap on it. I don't know how much of that is actually because it was bad or because I've just heard so many people say it was bad that I believe it. I'm gonna have to go back. Ninja Steel I think is a great season, but it's not my favorite personally, but I think it's a great season. It's fun. Ninja Steel is a season that I think has some issues here and there, but all around, I think the writing was decent. The suits are actually some of the coolest suits I think in the franchise, but not my top. And then Beast Morphers. Beast Morphers is honestly outstanding. I probably should put that in the middle tier. I don't know. That's the one that I'm kind of debated on, but it's still a fun season. I hope you guys enjoyed it. A little fun video giving you my top 5 and then, you know, kind of, I guess, trying to justify myself for why I didn't put Mighty Morphin Power Rangers at the top because I know a lot of people are mad when you don't do that. But I'm just being honest, man. Thank you guys so much. And if you want to see some of those breakdown videos of those seasons and get a little more in depth of why I love them, then you should check them out.